that goes out into the world, the one that shows up at work, in social situations, at family gatherings, the one that has learned what is acceptable in each context, what will be received well, what is best kept out of sight, the one that presents, manages, navigates. And there is the other version that stays home, the one that has opinions you never say out loud, feelings you only allow yourself to have, maybe desires you keep to yourself, parts of you that you find hard to justify or explain, things you are going through that you haven't told most people, the version of you that exists only in the private space within you. And the gap between those two is what this session is all about. So let's look at how that gap forms in the first place. Because that gap doesn't form all at once, it grows gradually across years through a series of small calibrations. You say something real and it gets received badly. You express something true and the people get uncomfortable. You show a part of yourself that you thought was okay and you discover it is not. At least not here, not with these people, not at this time. And so, what you do? You adjust. You learn which parts of you are welcome and which ones require some kind of management per se. You develop a sensitivity for the temperature of the room. You become very good at knowing what version of yourself is being called for in any given moment. And over time, that skill becomes so automatic that you stop even thinking of it as a choice. The adapted version simply becomes the public version. And the real version sinks further and further into the private space when you are alone with yourself. I see my husband joined us, Craig. Welcome, my love. And I see Deb. Thank you for your donation. I so appreciate you. Yes, Judith. Yes, they are. And if someone in the chat can share where it's available, because I can't, please do. But they are recorded and they are available. So, but going back to sinking down and down, further and further, I don't see this as deception. I want to be clear about that. I see it as adaptation. It is the entirely human and understandable response to the experience of being met with judgment, with rejection or discomfort. When you showed up as yourself, the gap is not a moral failing, it's a protection. The question is, what exactly is it protecting? And another question, is that protection still serving you today? Or has it become a kind of cage? But a cage that you are familiar with, so getting out of it is difficult. When so I came to understand that when we hide a part of ourselves, we are we have good intentions. We are trying to protect something real. Usually one of a small number of things. We are protecting ourselves against rejections. If they see this and turn away, I cannot bear it. So I keep this hidden. I would rather not be fully known than be fully known and found wanting. We are protecting against being misunderstood. This part of me is complicated. It doesn't fit neatly. If I show it, I will have to spend enormous energy explaining it, justifying it, defending it. So it's easier to keep it private. We are projecting an image, the image of being capable, of being okay, of being someone who has it together. If I let people see how hard things actually are, I lose that image. And the image I have decided is safer than the truth. You see? And sometimes we are protecting others. I don't want to burden anyone. I don't want to make people worry about me. I don't want to be the difficult one, the needy one, the one who makes things harder. So I keep the harder parts of myself to myself. And I tell myself, this is generosity. And you know what? All of these protections are perfectly understandable. All of them come from real experience, real pain, real knowledge about what happens when you overshare with the wrong people at the wrong time. The gap was built by someone who was trying to stay safe. That person deserves compassion, not criticism. And also, on the other hand, that gap has a cost, a significant cost. And that is what we need to look at, honestly. And I want to explain what I mean with a story. I love stories. I love using, what is the word? I cannot remember now. Metaphors, yes. I love using metaphors. I love using stories. If you are here for the first time, you will, and you keep coming, you will hear lots of stories and metaphors from me because I feel like they make it so much easier to understand what I'm meaning with the theory. Imagine you are well liked by many people. You have friends, you have a beautiful family, you have a social life that looks from the outside full, connected. And yet, there are moments, maybe more than you admit, when you say to yourself, I feel alone. I feel completely alone. Not always, but often. I am with people all the time, and I feel like nobody actually knows me. And what you are describing is the experience of the gap. The people around you know the curated version and they like it. They respond warmly to it. But the warmth lands on something that is not quite real to you or the real you. And so the real you, sitting behind the curated version, receives the warmth. Therefore, because the real you knows that it's not you, it's not real you that is getting that warmth, in the background, it feels alone, keeps feeling alone because it knows it's not my authentic self that they are showing that warmth. You see? Because it was not meant for real you. It was meant for the version you project. And that is one of the loneliest experiences there is. Being surrounded by people who care about you and still feeling unseen. So now it's your turn to share. Is there a part of yourself you rarely or never show in your daily life? You don't have to say what it is, just does it exist? A simple yes or no is enough, or a word for what kind of thing it is, if you want to share more. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Shout out to, oh, yes, yes, yes. Real me is alone. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, for all neurodivergent people. Yes, with family. Yes, yes, yes. Vulnerability, working on it. Of course. Of course. Yes, Sherry. Projection driven by fear of rejection absolutely and completely suck. Fear is an effect of the ego's illusion and your acceptance of the delusion. Well said, Chris. And still, yes, yes. Well, my dear husband says, sure. Well, I don't expect any one of you say no anyway. If you're a human, if you're a human, you are you are hiding something. There's no way any human being is not hiding anything. So saying yes is nothing to be ashamed of because all human beings have that. And I commend you for saying yes. We all have that. We all have the gap, but the how big the gap is, that matters, you see. If you are behind the curtain and in front of the curtain, the one that is performing is an actor, actress, then you are really alone. If that gap is a little bit smaller, like you share most of things with the outer world, but keep a couple of things to yourself, that's more healthy. Because that gap has a cost, big cost. Because running two versions of yourself simultaneously is exhausting. Exhausting. Not in a way that, like, in a way that you can even maybe recognize, because you have been running in that way forever. You cannot even tell that it's exhausting you. It's a low grade background tiredness. The tiredness of someone who is always slightly on, never turns off, always monitoring, always making micro decisions about what to reveal and what to keep back, always translating the internal version into the external acceptable version before it reaches the surface. So your thoughts and words form here, but because they leave you and hit the other person, you are letting it go through a filter. So you change, like, how can I explain this? While the words are form in your mind and come out of your mouth, it changes. It changes in a way to accommodate the other person. You see? And that's so exhausting. And most people carrying this exhaustion don't even know about this at all. And they say, maybe I'm an introvert, or I am socially anxious, or I find people draining, or this kind of events drain my energy. But often, what is draining is not the people, it is the management. The gap itself is the energy cost. Does it make sense? Yes. Thank you, Craig. Yeah. So when you yes, definitely, yes, the gap, Stacy, I explained it at the beginning. The gap is who you are, like who you show you are as to other people, and who you really are in inside, like who your authentic self and the self that you are exposing to others, and the difference in between. So when the curated version of you is what people are responding to, and the real version is what you are actually experiencing, there is a disconnect that makes genuine intimacy very, very difficult. You have that's why you have difficulty receiving compliments, for example. So it makes so much sense when someone compliments you and you don't want to take the compliment and say, oh, it was nothing, oh, it was this, it was that, because you feel deep down that, well, I am not really that person. It was like acting, so I don't really deserve that compliment. Exactly, Anne. We are perfectly imperfect. Yes, we are. As soon as we understand that, we start to shed that filter. We start to, the cage that we are in starts to dissolve. The gap starts to become smaller and smaller, you see. So, but when we have a big gap, as I said, compliments don't land, support doesn't reach the right place. Love is received at a distance because the receiver and the one being responded to are not the same person. So, this is why some of the most visible moments in a person's life are also the most connecting. When someone sees you, the real you, in a difficult moment without the curated version in place and responds with warmth rather than withdrawal, something extraordinary happens. That warmth is so much different than the one that lands to the curated version of you. That comes directly to you. And it's received differently from all the warmth that landed on the other version. So that kind of connection is not common, but it is what we are most hungry for. And you cannot have it while the gap is in place or it's too big. I'm going to remove that from your face. So, okay. I want to talk about a dynamic that I think is especially important for people going through a difficult period right now. Hold on, Chris wrote something. As Jack Nicholson said in A Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. Most people cannot handle the absolutely and completely raw and uncut version of me. I've tested this truth in my reality, but the chosen few, that is Chris's inner circle of about 6 people, that get to see that maskless Chris. They are the loyal, locked in for all eternity friends who truly see me while everyone else sees only a masked avatar of me. And that's a choice. Yes, yes. You show all of yourself to the ones you feel safe with. And it's only understandable, right? So I was saying the important dynamic when you're going through a difficult period. When life gets hard, the first instinct is to hide. And like hiding intensifies. Not because you have less to show, but because you feel more vulnerable, more exposed to judgment, more vulnerable to judgment, more aware of the gap between how things look and how things are. And so the person going through a health crisis, for example, performs wellness in social situations. The person in financial difficulty projects confidence they don't feel. The person who's grieving learns to bring their lighter self to every gathering so they don't become a burden to others. And they go home exhausted, lonelier than they were before they went out. And the hiding that happens in hard times is one of the things that makes hard times harder, because the energy it takes to maintain that performance is energy that cannot go toward surviving the actual difficulty that you are in already. And the isolation that the hiding creates cuts off the very human connection that would most help. Being seen in difficulty is not the same as being pitied. Real visibility is not performance of struggle. It's not oversharing with everyone. It's allowing the people who are safe, like Chris's 6 people, even if one person who's safe, to actually know what is happening with you, to actually meet you where you are. That's not weakness. It's one of the most intelligent things you can do for yourself. Lexi says, I feel like I don't have to hide here. I am loved and accepted on here. Thank you all for the love and support. Yes, you all are. You can show up here as you are. You can show up in our circle of bliss as you are. You are loved as you are. You don't have to hide anything. Amberly says, Judith Orloff has a great book called The Genius of Empathy, and there's a chapter at the back about the codependent giver. This was a huge eye-opener for me because I've tended to give way more than I've received. Yeah. And you can do it so long. Like, you cannot do it forever, Amberly. You, like, the cup, you have a certain cup. And when that cup is fully empty, it's an oxymoron, but empty, there's nothing to give. You need to receive and fill the cup while you are also giving so that it is replenished, right? So imagine someone known in every room they enter as the strong one, the capable one, the one people call when things fall apart because they know this person will not. At work, at home, among friends, the role is the same: steady, reliable, unshakable one. And that person have played it so long and so well that most people really believe it's the whole picture. But there's something almost no one knows. Certain pieces of music undo them completely. A particular kind of kindness from a stranger can make them have to look away. They cry in their car more than they have ever cried in front of another person. They feel things at a depth that would genuinely surprise the people who think they know them. They have never shown this because the strong one is not supposed to need anything. The strong one doesn't get to be moved. And so the most alive parts of their interior life happen entirely alone. In the car, in the shower, in the 5 minutes before sleep, when there is no one left to be strong for. What they have been protecting is the role, the label. What it has cost them is being known, being seen. So I want you to complete this sentence for me in the chat. A part of what's actually going on for me right now that most people don't know is, I will repeat it. A part of what's actually going on for me right now that most people don't know is unmasking autism, grief. A part of what's actually going on for me that most people don't know is, oh, thank you, Andy, for writing it down. Shireen, I'm grieving. I am broken. I am busy traveling, but I am lonely. Ali said that I'm grieving my mom and my dad. I'm not truly in love with my partner. Thank you for saying that. Right now, that most people don't know is I am sicker than people realize. My kids are breaking my heart by not even being here for me. Grief. I've been going through the dark night of the soul. Health anxiety. Erol, health anxiety. I have a video for that. Let me see if I have it here. Because you said it. I have it. Health anxiety. Please try this. Please try this, okay? Erol. I hope I said your name properly. Who else? Oh, it's moving so fast. I do not see 3 of my children. Ilona. I am not sure who I am. Have to find the real me. I may be more afraid of stepping fully into my light than continue living in pain, body, and shadows. Grief and loneliness, drinking too much. Thank you. Thank you for this is not an easy thing to do, guys. I'm like being authentic and sharing this openly. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a big step. It's a big step you are taking right now. I'm figuring out who I am, sober, and feel uncomfortable with this new experience, and that's totally normal and fine. I refuse to let go someone who doesn't love me anymore. Cynthia. Yeah. Like seeing that, acknowledging it, it's huge. It's huge. And I'm so proud of all of you. I feel I'm not being seen at work and having my professional skills being recognized, undervalued and underappreciated. Jeffrey, you're not alone. Many, many people feel that way, unfortunately, in the corporate world. I'm scared to commit to and trust my long term partner fully. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, it's easy to share when I'm partially anonymous, but I can't be vulnerable around friends and family because they want me to be strong and together. Though this is a step, this is an important step. Uh, let's not dismiss this. What you are doing here is a huge step toward that. You cannot go from 0 to 100. One step, one step, one step, right? So please pat yourself on the back for saying this, for sharing here in a safe space with friends who are also going through similar things, right? So I'm proud of you all. Thank you. Thank you. Every single one of these comments took courage. And I want you to notice how it felt to write it, even in a chat box. That small relief is what being seen does. You are seen. I see you, each and every one of you. Even at this scale, even this briefly. Group therapy, yes. Yes, Elizabeth. I hope it is helping you. I want to talk a little bit about what being seen actually means now. Because I think there are two things that often get confused, and the confusion keeps people stuck. Visibility is not the same as exposure. Exposure means having something revealed without your consent. It means the gap between torn open rather than opened by choice. That's violation, not visibility. And it's understandable that many people who have experienced something like that at some point in their lives have mixed the two and decided that visibility itself is dangerous. Real visibility is chosen. It is the deliberate, consensual act of showing more of yourself to people you have decided are worthy of it. It's not telling everyone everything, it's telling someone something real, and then choosing that rather than being managed into it by circumstances. Privacy is healthy. You are allowed to have an interior life that is yours alone. You are allowed to keep things to yourself that are not yet ready to be shared, that are too tender, that belong to you before they belong to anyone else. Privacy is a choice made from self respect. You see, hiding is different. Hiding is keeping something back because you are scared of what happens if people see it. Not because it belongs to you, but because you are afraid of being judged, afraid of being rejected, or seen as less of. And hiding also has a cost, of course. It takes energy to keep a part of yourself out of sight. It affects every relationship where the hiding is happening, even if the other person has no idea. So the question is not how much should I share? The question is simpler than that. Am I keeping this to myself because it genuinely feels private right now? Or am I keeping it hidden because I am afraid of what people will think if they see it? You see? Those two things feel similar from the inside, but they are very different. And your body, our bodies are amazing, amazing. Use your body because your body usually knows which one it is. Ask your body, your gut. Oh, I have so much to tell you, so much to say. Talk and talk and talk and talk. But I'm gonna take a break, and because my eyes came to these beautiful earrings. So in Iceland, I get to meet in person for the first time two of my current clients and two of my previous clients. So four of my clients in person. It was amazing. And one of them gave me this as a gift. I so love these. So beautiful earrings. It's my style. So pretty, right? I love them. Yes. It was so wonderful to because I always do my coaching through like online through Zoom, right? So we don't get together in person. But this time, like with four people, like two I worked earlier and two I'm still working, and it was so beautiful being with them and hugging them, talking to them. Yeah. So going back to okay, health anxiety. I'm going to remove this now and I will put something else. I'm going to put now um, another video that I would like you to check out, being versus doing, because we are doing like the being series, like the art of being series. So this is important, who you are being. And actually, the first session of the series, being the change, was my topic of speech in Iceland. And obviously, this session I did was 1.5 hours or so, but the other one was only half an hour. So it was the condensed version of it. And I changed a few things, but it was received so beautifully. Like I was amazed. People in the festival grounds, people who were at that session, they whenever they saw me, oh, you were the one who did that session. It was amazing. It was wonderful, and we started to think about our I am statements and blah blah blah. It was so heartwarming to come across people who were there and who said like it was really really thought provoking, and I really enjoyed it. Yes, so it was a wonderful experience. Coming back to our topic, so when you look at this, the art of being series, the thread that runs through this entire series, uh, 3 sessions ago, we found who you are, the real self beneath the name, the body, the roles, the awareness that has been consistent through everything. But here's the problem: if that self is kept entirely hidden, if the gap remains fully in place, then the self you discovered in session one has nowhere to actually live. It exists privately. It informs nothing externally. It touches no one. And the self that cannot be expressed, cannot be shared, cannot be brought into contact with the world is a self that has been found but not yet lived. You cannot fully be who you are while keeping the real you hidden. The two things are in direct conflict. Visibility is not just a social act, it's an act of identity. It's the practice of actually inhabiting the self you now know yourself to be. And none of these require a dramatic revelation. Visibility grows in small increments, and small is exactly the right place to start, just like we started through your comments in the chat. The first, one true thing. Once a day, in an ordinary conversation, say one thing that is actually true about yourself, not the performed answer, the real one. Like, push yourself to be real with one small thing. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be significant. It might be as small as I'm finding today hard, or I don't actually know the answer to that, or I've been thinking about this a lot lately. One true thing to one person in one exchange. That's enough to begin loosening the gap. The second one is lower the mask by 1 degree. 1 degree. Not take it off entirely, just adjust it slightly. Whatever level you usually present at, try showing a little more of the actual interior. In a conversation you trust, with someone whose response has been safe before, you don't have to go further than feels okay, but try 1 degree further than you usually allow yourself to go and see what happens. And the third thing that might be helpful, and this is the one that makes all the others possible, be seen by yourself first. Most of us hide from ourselves before we hide from anyone else. We look away from the parts of our own experience that are uncomfortable. We manage our inner world with the same curation we apply to our outer one. The practice of sitting with your own full experience without looking away, without softening it, without rushing to a more manageable interpretation, that is the foundation of every other kind of visibility. You cannot offer to be seen by others what you have not first allowed yourself to see. So, anything you shared here in the chat about yourself was the perfect self awareness you raised. Because it's not easy to admit what is going on. And you did it. So that's why I'm so proud of you. That's really important work you are doing here. So, yeah, you did wonderfully. And before we go into the meditation, I want to bring everything together into one clear place. Being seen is not about becoming an open book. It's not about sharing everything with everyone. It's about choosing to bring more of your real self into more of your life gradually with people who are worthy of it, beginning with yourself. The gap costs you something every day. It costs you energy, connection, and the specific kind of loneliness that lives inside a full social life. Those costs are real and they accumulate. But the thing I want to leave you with is this: visibility is not the vulnerable thing, hiding is. Because when you hide, you place your real self in a position where it can never be met, never be received, never be loved as it actually is. The risk of being seen is that someone might not like what they see, and hiding guarantees that no one will ever truly know you at all. The sun was always there. It's always there. It takes an eclipse for us to see the full reality of it. But the corona, that extraordinary light, doesn't appear for the first time during the eclipse. It was always surrounding the sun. We just could not see it in ordinary light. Your full self has always been there too. This series is the conditions that allow it to be seen. So next week, like I'm going to go to meditation now, but I want to put next week's session here. So you sign up for it right away and put it on your calendar so you don't forget about it. Now we go into the meditation. It begins, as all real visibility must, with yourself. So before you can be seen by anyone else, you have to be willing to see yourself fully without the usual editing, without looking away from the parts that are harder to acknowledge. This meditation is practice for exactly that. So let your body settle, like get comfortable, put your hands anywhere that is comfortable, and close your eyes if it feels right. As always, I start my meditation with a quote. Today's quote is from me, and I say, "Staying hidden feels like safety, but the loneliest place in the world is a room full of people who only know the version of you that you perform." Now, let your body settle and feel the surface beneath you. Take a breath in and let it completely go. One more deep breath. This time with an ah. One more long and deep breath through the nose. And now go back to your natural rhythm of breathing. For this time, nothing needs to be managed. There is no room to perform in. No version to maintain. Just you, here, as you actually are. Bring to mind all the versions of yourself you carry through a typical day. The public version, the work version, the version that shows up for family, The version that answers, "How are you?" with "Good, thank you," while you don't really feel that inside. Just notice them without judging, knowing they are they were built for good reasons. And now gently let them step aside and see what is left when none of those versions is required. Who is here when no one is watching and nothing needs to be managed? And let that person be present, even if briefly, even just here in this meditation. Now, bring the quality of a kind witness to yourself. Not a critic or an editor, just a witness. And simply look at what is actually here. The things you are going through that most people don't know about. The feelings you have been carrying without fully acknowledging them. The parts of yourself you find difficult to show. See them without looking away. And then to each one, offer something simple. I see you. You are part of me. I am not here to fix you. I just see you. The way you would see a person you love who was going through something hard. With that same quality of attention. Just this time, turned toward yourself. Now bring to mind the thing you most rarely show, the part of yourself that lives most fully in the private version. The thing you decided is too complicated, too much, too vulnerable, too unlike what people expect of you. And let that part of you be present right here, just for the sake of this meditation. You are not sharing it with anyone. You are simply sharing it with and acknowledging it to yourself. You are seeing it clearly, and you are showing the courage to not look away. And as you hold it in your awareness, notice something. It doesn't make you less. It makes you more complete. Every part of you that you have been hiding is a part of your full self. And your full self is not a problem to be managed. It is who you actually are. Now bring to mind one person in your life whose presence feels safe. Just one. Like your lighthouse. Someone who has seen more of you than most. Or someone you sense could if you let them. And imagine them looking at you. The real you. The full one. Not the curated version. The one sitting in this meditation right now. And imagine their response to you to be simply, I see you and I'm still here, not going anywhere. And let that land in your body, even as an imagined experience. And deeply feel what it is like to be met fully as you actually are. This is what you have been protecting yourself from, but it's also what you have been longing for. And both things are true. Both are true. Now, very gently make one small decision to close the gap by 1 degree this week. One true thing you will say to one person. 1 degree you will lower the mask. One moment you will let yourself be seen by yourself without looking away. And let the decision be real. Let it settle somewhere in your body as a quiet commitment to the full version of yourself. You are beautiful. You are loved. Now, let awareness come gently back to the room you are in. Recognize the sounds around you. Take a full breath in and a long, complete exhale. Feel your feet, the weight of your body. And when you're ready, slowly and gently open your eyes when you're ready. What if the part of you that you have been hiding the longest is exactly the part the world has been waiting for? What if? From my heart to yours, with all my love and gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, Douglas and Chris, for your generous donations. And thank you, my dear husband. What a beautiful things to say. You are loved. I know I am. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amberly, for your donation. And I want to repeat what I said at the end. What if the part of you that you have been hiding the longest is exactly the part the world has been waiting for? What if? Thank you, Amberly, for your donation. Thank you, Tishfar. Beautiful name. Thank you for your donation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Whew, that was intense. I want to go back to the person in the story I shared, the one who was well liked, well connected, and completely alone inside all of it. The one whose friend asked, "How are you actually?" and waited for the real answer. That person told me later that the conversation lasted about 20 minutes, and they described it as one of the most significant 20 minutes of the whole hard year. Not because anything was solved, not because the friend had answered, but because for those 20 minutes, the real version of them was in the room. And the room, surprisingly, didn't fall apart. The friendship didn't end. The friend didn't leave, stayed. What actually happened was the friendship became something different, something more profound, more real. And the person felt for the first time in months like they had a genuine ally rather than just an audience 20 minutes, one true conversation, 1 degree less of the gap. That's all it takes to begin. So, your practice this week, whichever of the three of you chose, the one true thing, 1 degree, or being seen by yourself first, one of those practiced with genuine intention at least once this week. Let it be small, let it be real, and notice what happens in your body when you do it. And check in with the people whom you feel like, this person might be the one I can be more of my authentic self. Who might be that person? Bob, you made me think about what qualities I have that I was embarrassed about, but maybe are what makes attractive to others. Thank you. And thank you for saying that. You see, you want people to love you and appreciate you for who you really are, not for whom you show or imitate to be. Ooh, that's a great idea. Elizabeth says, I'm going to talk to myself in the mirror. What an amazing idea. Wonderful. By the way, I want to ask you something. Thank you, Julie, for your donation. Last time, I asked all of you, not all of you, I mean the ones who were with me, to find out what the exact total solar eclipse time in your local place, and close your eyes and feel like you are with me in Iceland, because I have been thinking of you all, and I had you in my heart there looking at the eclipse happening. But any of you remembered to do that? One of you said you did, but anyone else? Thank you, Julie and Lexi, for your donations. I so appreciate them. Anyone? Anyone remembered? Anyone? Oh, Christina, yes. Yes. Nida, yes. Neda. Oh my God. Anne, yes. Because I was thinking exactly at that moment, I was thinking of this. Yes, I did, Isabel. Nice. Oh, Chris. Yes, Maribel. Oh my God. Oh my God. You made my day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Carrie, thank you for your donation. Oh, yes. I'm so glad you remembered. Thank you. Okay. Next week, being still. That's the fifth session of the Art of Being series. Stillness is not the absence of activity. It's the presence of something deeper than activity. And most of us have been moving so continuously for so long that stopping started to feel unsafe. Like something will catch up with us if we stop, like our worth disappears the moment we are no longer producing something. So, next week is an invitation to stop, to discover that what lives in the stillness is not what we feared, it's something we have deeply needed. So we will talk about that. Oh my God, look at my husband. He said, I thought of you for a week. Oh, and you. I love you. What can I say? Okay. So Amberly says, I tend to be so deeply emotional and feel everything, but I know these are a part of patterns. I've struggled with it's moving, with the strength of vulnerability and being empathic versus holding a distance. It's hard. It is hard. It is hard. You will find your sweet spot, you see, Amberly? You will find your sweet spot and keep pushing yourself just a little bit, millimeter, very slowly. You don't have to go all the way, but do something, even if a little bit. Okay. Remind people to follow you, please. Yes, I am reminding you to follow me. Thank you, Bob, for reminding me. Here it is. Please follow me. Please come join our Circle of Bliss group. Circle of Bliss. and become one of my blissers. I call my circle of bliss members blissers. And join the challenge. Join the challenge. I will be with you on day 8. Please do. Please do. 480 people. What? Oh my God. Hiding is vulnerability. Did I say? I don't think I said that, but hiding yourself is not vulnerability. It's the opposite. Vulnerability is sharing. But you decide how much you are ready to share with whom, and find the person you trust and give like bite size. Don't let it out all at once. Just try and go from there. Remember, and never forget. I'm going to ask you, what is it? Like, I'm going to do a test at some point to ask you, so what do I say at the end of my sessions? What do I say? Anyone who remembers. Okay. You are loved. Yes. You are loved. You are safe. You're never alone. And I love you. Each and every single one of you. All of you. 480 of you. With all my heart. With all my heart. With all my heart. So please come back. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And remember your homework. Bye for now. I love you all. Bye bye.